us. So aggravating. Alright, everybody. Sorry for that fluctuation there. I lost power again for like 15 seconds. I literally don't know what the hell happened. Super aggravating. Alright, we should be back. Let me get over to DDO's stream here and make sure that we're hosted. So aggravated. Alright. Sorry about that, everybody. I literally don't know what happened. Everything just exploded. Alright, looks like we're back in the correct voice chat now. Yeah, I don't... my whole computer just turned off. And it does it... This is the second time it's happened. And I don't know if it's hot, like I need to take it out and blow it off. Like I get no warnings. It just... boop, turns off. It'll turn right back on. It'll work just fine, but I don't know what... I do not know what is up with it. Also, it looks like DDO is trying to crash on me, which is also fun. I think there's something with... It's only happened... I think the last time it happened was at the same point in DDO. I wonder if there's something going on in DDO land. And now my client won't respond. See if the client comes back. This is what I get to see.
Cordova said something like they were working on some things that'll be coming in to the after the downtime.
Give it another second and then I'll kill it and start another client. This is very aggravating to me. I don't even think it... I don't know if it's DDO's fault. Like I said, it's only happened while playing DDO, and it's only happened a couple of times. I think both times I was basically at the same spot in Korthos too. But I have to go back in time and look. Yeah. I don't know why it died right there, but it did.
Yeah, he said something about like the client servers or something, I thought.
Yeah, I don't know. I said I try to listen to Jerry while I'm doing things, but it doesn't always happen. I don't know what's going on. Like I said, it's happened... This is the second time it's happened like in 3 weeks, I think. Abu Bar should just go. Alright. Let me pause some playback here in case it... I noticed that earlier today we definitely had some communication issues. Alright, looks like I got my 5-cent cake at least. Close enough. Let's get out of here. Again, I think it literally was clicking on going to Korthos or leaving Korthos. I think it was the same thing, but we'll find out. Anyway, we'll put that behind us because that's doesn't really matter that much at the end of the day. I don't care about this. Why am I doing that? Okay, let's go get our ship buffs and let's start reapering. It's gonna be sweet.
So the world builder job is more probably like an artist side, as
doesn't look like it. It looks like it's a quest designer job, which is the thing that I've been wanting to do. But I don't know anything about the Lotro world. I just don't know anything about them. Lotro is not a thing I spend a lot of time on. Although the Lotro code also expires at the end of the month, so I might make a Lotro account and get all their free quests together just to have them. I was told that it was not a game that I would particularly enjoy, but I'd be willing to give it a shot, I think. Alright, so we re-ship buffed. We do have a Ghost Touch weapon. Let's get back to the harbor and let's knock out some Reaper quests. Get that fat experience coming in. So over here with our first possible Reaper quest. I like to do Reaper 1s when I'm kind of in a hurry to get regular heroic experience. You get that that bonus. What? My bars are all messed up too. How did that happen? Yeah, whatever it was, definitely was DDO screwing up related. I don't care about that. I don't care about that. I do care about this one. I think we'll put them like that for now. This can go there.
So I would assume that the shifter is going to get a +1 to strength in the racial.
I don't know, actually. I would probably feel like that would be a safe assumption as well, but I honestly don't know for sure.
He wouldn't say. He would confirm it.
Well, that would be... I'd have to think about it. But wouldn't that be the 4th class that gives or a race that gives a strength bonus?
It'd be the 2nd.
Is it just the 2nd? I thought there was way more than that.
Well, there's like 3 or 4 charismas, and then there's like 1 strength.
Well, it might be our 2nd strength one then, if that's correct. I can't believe we didn't get this guy soon enough. Now I gotta deal with all these dogs. These dogs are some of the most dangerous creatures in Dungeons and Dragons at level. Fire off our double strike. Okay, 24 hit points. Yeah, we've got our 10 monsters. So realistically, we could just go if the opportunity availed itself here. Don't think it's gonna. I think we're gonna have to stop and kill these guys, though. Oh boy. Alright, so we'll sprint boost right before running in the end. We'll hit the 2 things and we'll sprint boost out. We don't have to kill the last 2 guards. In fact, if we had a good ranged weapon, we could just range them from here and not worry about it, but I don't currently have anything. We really don't have a real weapon until level 4. I did not pick up a buckler yet either. Bucklers will come in at level 4 as well. All the real gear turns in at level 4. We're just kind of limping along until then. That, and we can't really wear a buckler until... what, here? So level 3 and 10 points in the tree. Before we can really screw around any at all with a buckler. I was hoping that we would stun that guy so we couldn't wake up these things, but no such luck for us today. Let's just keep dancing so he cannot tap us. Him on pause so he does not get tapped by this cold trap here.
You know a funny thing I found out?
Is it funny ha-ha or funny hee-hee?
It's if you don't cut your grass, it doesn't grow as fast.
I think that is more having to do with watering, like, and if it's wet or not. Like if it's hot and there's not a lot of moisture, it doesn't grow very fast. I think that's where most people don't mow their yard as much. Like, I need to get out there and mow it. It's just super long, especially the backyard. The front yard's not too bad, but the backyard is real bad. Get out there and get it done. My wife was so furious the other day. She's like, you need to get out there and get the yard mowed. And I'm like, I'm working on it. She's like, man, I wish we could just find somebody to come mow the backyard for us, like some kid or something. She's like, I would have hired somebody 3 times already to take care of it. She goes, but the way the school bus is parked, they'd have to go through the garage, and no one's going to go through the garage to mow the yard. That means they have to use they can't use a riding mower. No one's down for that. I'm like, that's fair. But we're going to get this door open first. That's going to be our priority, and the reason why is so we can probably get murdered by this Carnage Reaper and then come back to life. As we get murdered by the Carnage Reaper. Don't need that much time to hit this Carnage Reaper. We just need a couple of hits. We're just going to duck in, duck out, duck in, duck out. Oh, so close. Whew. This is part of the reason I do like having a heal. Heal would have been good for us there. Being able to heal our hireling instead of watching him get lightning bolted to death right there would be strong. Alright, so we already had our first death, so we don't have to worry about that. It's out of the way. Running into a Carnage Reaper in particular is kind of unfortunate. But risk you take when you move into them Reaper quests. Of course, if I had some potions instead of just tasty hams, it would be a little bit different of a story as well. Speaking of, we need to eat another tasty ham. No, no. I was kind of counting on our hireling there to be around for a little bit. Just take this spider out. Get him up against the wall so he can't circle around us anymore. Next level, we'll be able to start using Ellery. And it makes life a little easier. Having somebody else to throw heals on us. I always let people know that whenever I talk about Ellery, because she's one of the best values in Dungeons & Dragons Online. If you go to DDO.com and go look in their marketplace, scroll down a little bit, there'll be a starter pack. And you can pick up the starter pack for $9.99. And that's where you get the Gold Seal Permanent Hireling Ellery. And get one on every server. She does a lot of work. She's great. Real good. Alright.
And she's bound to account.
She's bound to account. That is correct. But the important thing is that if you jump over there, get her now, and then jump over to the hardcore server. When the hardcore server leaves, you can transfer her to whatever your main server is, and then you can have 2 on your main server. So it makes it very nice to leveling up multiple TR people, or even having one that like maybe lives in acts as like a mana potion when you're doing Reaper or high level Reaper stuff. Elleries are great value. Plus, I think we looked it up the other day, and if you were to just buy those healing potions out of the store, it's something like $14 or something. Like, you end up very far ahead if you get that picked up. Looks like Strimtom's going to counter stream us, taking a look at the Lamania stuff. If you want to take a look at that, try to use the multitwitch.tv channel. Keep an eye on both of us if you wouldn't mind. I'd appreciate it. Gives both people counts as viewership. Makes life better for all of us. We all grow together. Not a big Lamania person. Feel like it's not the content that I usually worry about very much, is previewing and doing that kind of work. I don't mind doing that, but I feel like that's work, and I don't get paid for that. So
yeah, it's nice to see that they're working on stuff sometimes, and besides that,
well, they're always working on stuff. They, it's not like they're screwing around. I know that they're working on things. It's nice to get that preview experience if you're into it, but that is not a me thing. Man, we are gonna take a bunch of deaths this go around, aren't we? There's just not that much we can do about it, unfortunately. Byron managed to finish off the Fear Reaper, so that's good. Yeah, we probably should have grabbed some healing potions. I think that would make a bit of a difference, but I didn't. So, or a wand or a scroll or something. I honestly feel like whoa. Took a bad hit from one of these kobolds, huh? I was gonna say I normally feel like we'd be pretty invincible against just these regular kobolds here, but we are certainly taking a beating. Stop! You little turd. Byron solo the quest. He just got wrecked. Whatever this guy is, this kobold warrior is real. Alright, I'm gonna shrine. Man, I cannot even remember the last time I shrined in this quest. It feels like a serious beating.
Doesn't V-Love advocate for random dungeons? Like,
he does. Accidentally hit R10. Oops. Yeah, been there. Wow, we're just taking all the big hits today. Yeah, we almost had that guy down. And the lots of reapers. This might just be one of those days where we're gonna really take it before we turn the corner. Yeah, random dungeons are just seriously impractical, and they don't work very well. There's a lot of flaws with that idea. If you end up with a situation like where there's multiple paths, even, you end up in a situation that you just learn the pathing. Welcome back, Loves.
Census guy showed up.
Census guy?
Yeah, because I have to have my residency. I have to be here for a certain amount of time every few years. So.
yeah, the census guy came to my house like 4 days ago.
I worked for the census for a summer. That was a sweet gig. I went to retirement homes and helped elderly people fill out their censuses. But 9 times out of 10, the nurses and stuff wanted to do it because I didn't know any of the staff, or not the staff, but the people. So I would just sit and read basically 9 times out of 10 to go and to do tell people. Basically, I just drop off paperwork, and then if they happen to have any questions, then I would be there to answer them. It was a sweet gig. And then I had to drive around, like I did, because we're in Kansas, right? So I like drove all around to these different towns and stuff to different retirement homes all over Kansas. So I got like paid by the hour while driving, and then also, since I used my own vehicle, I got paid mileage as well. So both mileage and an hourly wage for driving.
Yeah, I set this appointment up before I came. I had to get it done. Can't go to the office because of COVID. So he's actually early by an hour and a half.
Yeah, it was a sweet gig. Sweet gig.
You can always joke with him and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not a citizen. Here, take this."
No, I'm lucky I'm a dual citizen. one thing with the Inquisitor tree I don't like, it's so slow to start shooting your weapon. I'll be in a group of people, and they already start murdering stuff, I start shooting stuff.
Well, people don't mess around a whole lot. There are not many roses to be smelled right now. Which is fine. Alright, let's get these doors open. Call it a hunch that we're gonna run into at least one more big Reaper here before we get through this quest.
Can I have my Skeletal Knight and my Artie Dog at the same time or not?
No.
Bullshit. Do some Zero Code Slayer stuff. You know, I might try that quest that I used to not be able to do.
Yeah, which quest is that?
Stupid way to hop back and forth on the ladder.
Well, I mean, I demonstrated to everybody how to do that, so you should be good to do it.
Once. I did good.
Keep in mind that, are you talking about post-level 20 version, the epic version, or the heroic version?
Oh, heroic. I'm 7th level.
Okay, yeah, you should be fine. The level 20 version of that quest is a little bit different.
Really?
Yeah. Hey, you're gonna run around all this way. Why don't you hit the shrine and come back to life?
Here's a question. So I'm in front of the Blood Eye guy in Third Rock Cove. And on my map it has the gold chalice, but on him there's no gold chalice. Doesn't mean I can't do it yet?
It might just be a visual bug thing.
He says, why are you standing here? So do something else. Go clear out some pirates in the wilderness. They head out of town.
Oh, that's the explorer guy? Yeah, you can't do the explorers of any quest you haven't. Can't teleport to any explorers that you haven't done the quest for.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw the golden chalice and I'm trying to figure out all these quests here. I'm like, why can't I get this dude's stuff? So I've done everything here. Everything's blue. Except for him. Right on. I'm trying to go get that guardian or that cool quarterstaff.
Whoa. Alright. Taking level 3 and then we'll try to tear through to level 4 so Velo can join us as quick as possible here.
Yeah, buddy.
Shouldn't be too much longer, I don't think. It really depends on how much of a reckoning we end up taking. So we took some. We're definitely getting a beating every once in a while here.
Bad guano. That's why I like that issue materials. It's just so great. You have to get no components.
Yeah, but everything costing that much more is not great either. Okay. Let's...
Is there a guy in Third Rock Code that sells components, or have to go back to the market?
There should be a general vendor somewhere, I'm assuming.
So, Fox.
Are there any other sentences or words to that sentence, or just Fox?
Made that movie and they give it out for free.
Made Apes War for the Planet. Okay, I've not heard of that.
At the end it says, making this movie employed 15,000 people.
Is that a continuation of their...
The story, yeah.
Yeah, I really haven't watched. that much of those. I like the first couple of that reboot, and then so I haven't done that much since. I don't even know if I watched the newest one.
That is the best Planet of the Apes movie I've ever seen in my life.
Are the originals? The originals were so good though.
Yeah, with Charlton Heston or whatever his name
Yeah,
was.
he's my favorite old actor. NRA supporter. Roddy McDowell.
I don't know. I said I really liked that first one of the reboots, and then I watched a couple other ones since then, but I couldn't tell you much about that series.
Well, I don't want to spoil it, but Harrison,
Are there more words to Harrison, or?
well, you know the guy from Cheers, Woody Harrelson.
Okay.
He's in the movie, and it's good.
I'm gonna mail you some stuff, Sam, okay?
That's fine. I'm trying to if it's the same one that I'm thinking of, if they put that if it's the same movie, I think that one was it's already come out.
Can they fix the mail system, Sam? Like we can mail more than one item at a time?
I don't know if it's possible for them to.
It's a pain in the butt, man. You got like multiple stuff on somebody.
Yeah, War for the Planets of the Apes is a 2017 movie. Is there a new one?
Oh, so they just digitally like remaxed it, but it was in 17. Okay. Yeah, I was busy in 17, so.
Oh, that's all right. Yeah, that's the one that has Woody Harrelson in it. I didn't know if they had another one or not.
I'm gonna take off for a little bit. My grandma wants to go have some dinner, so.
Oh, that sounds nice.
I'll be back to play with you if you're on some.
All right. Well, I said my hope is to play until like 2-ish, 3-ish, somewhere in that ballpark, and then take a break, get something to eat, and then come back, do a little bit of time on the hardcore server, assuming my hardcore server people are around.
So you're gonna be on for a little while. So I'll probably be back when you're off then.
Yeah, possibly. I don't know. I'll have to see.
Alright.
I don't know what my plans are going to be long term today.
I'll just hop into hardcore with you and listen to you and talk to you. Because I'm 15 level, not 20 or something yet.
Yeah. My hardcore server action's like 28, 29, I think, something. But yeah, come on in. We'll see what's going on.
Alright guys, you guys are safe, having time.
You too, bud. Tell your grandpa I said hello.
Take care, love.
Bye guys.
Byron saved us. Virus kept us from having a recall of shame. That was close. I could have easily went the wrong way. Do we want to turn these runes off? I guess. Oh wait, what am I doing? I have Ellery this. We're level 3. Why do I not have Ellery on my bar? Ellery, save us. The hit points. One more heal, girl. There we go. Now we don't care anymore. Now we're in great shape again. Keto salmon curry. I should not be looking at Twitter this close to break time and food time.
The other thing I noticed when I don't cut like the long grass in the back, I get more butterflies.
That's probably fair. We get more wildlife the more wild your yard is. I know the wife was like all happy when we came back from vacation that the backyard had gotten long enough that the bunnies were back. I'm like, great, now I gotta worry about stupid bunnies hiding, trying to get mowed over. It's gonna be fun. So I gotta go stomp around before I mow to try to stir up any bunny action. I don't need any messes.
I suppose that's one way of looking at it.
Well, it's the scary practical side of things, which is kind of the lens that I look at the world through most of the time. Yeah, I was looking at personality tests and stuff again the other day, and I was talking to V-Love about it a little bit the other day as well. Actually getting a lot of... How did I get so turned around? A lot of curiosity about different things along those lines. Personality tests and like habits and stuff that they can boil down to your decision trees. And one of the things that was interesting, they were talking about, like, as an architect in particular, is a mindset that you focus on what is more than what you want it to be, but then you also like try to come up with a plan to get reality to that fantasy world. And I was like, oh man, that definitely feels like how I see the world, I think, more often than not. So I see the world for what it is, but then I'd like it to get to the fantasy that I see, even if I'm not gonna like force the world into where I think it should go.
So I think the federal government psych test is like 200 or 250 questions. And so they made me take it right before they would let me in. And then they made me take it like, 10 or 15 years later, right? So they got the data, like, if I changed like my answers, I mean, I can't remember, question 87, if I was A or B.
Well, that's not the idea. The idea is that you answer the question based off of your core, and if your core hasn't changed, then it would be the same.
Exactly.
Whoa. There's so many things that I don't understand about some of my friends. Some of my friends are true geniuses in the sense of the word, and I do not understand them in the slightest. So, for example, here, a friend of mine says, me, whenever I see a squirrel in Marysville, which I believe Marysville is like a part of this slightly bigger town that they basically call Marysville. It's like the section of the where all the bars are located and a lot of the restaurants and stuff. It's not really another town. I think they just like call it that. And he says, "I see a squirrel in Marysville. Why aren't you black, you dummy?" I guess I just don't understand how this. It's like what I don't. Why does this make sense to anybody?
I still don't understand why you think Captain Archer is better than Captain Picard.
So the reason I like Archer so much is because one, he doesn't have he's not perfect. He's trying to figure out the morality of the first person that deep into space. And unlike Picard, he's thrown up against really difficult moral decisions and dilemmas relatively often. So, like, for example, one of my, not really favorite episodes, but one of my favorite episodes to, like, mull over the moral kind of dilemmas that this particular show was tackling was the episode where there is a third gender in this alien species, and the captain goes off, spends like 3 days with the captain of this other species exploring the sun, right? Like they have the technology to go inside the sun. So meanwhile, Tucker is doing what he believes the captain would do, and like teach this third gender about, like, she's just as smart and as capable as the rest of them. They don't even teach them to read. They don't even get names. They're, like, from our standpoint, really mistreated. And he, like, opens her eyes to the possibility that they, because as far as I know, they didn't have a third gender, or a title for this third gender, other than progenitor, I think, is little more than like a mindless pet kind of thing, like produces an enzyme. I don't know. Anyway, instead of being an equal member of society, they're basically a pet used for having a baby, right? So this whole moral dilemma unfolds, and now Captain Archer is forced into this decision. Like, this woman has asked for sanctuary. Like, there's a real moral dilemma there inside this storyline. And he ends up saying, no, you have to go back with your species. Like, sorry, that's just how it is. Yada, yada, yada. The real ramifications of what's going to happen is kind of outside of his control. And then it turns out that this person commits suicide because she no longer feels free because she's been awakened. Where had nothing ever happened, his or her, this third gender, would have been alive. Well, these people would have been able to have their baby. They could have, you know what I mean? Like, they could have carried on living. And that's like a real moral story and a real moral dilemma. I'm not saying that there's not those kind of interesting things that happens with Picard, but not at that level, in my opinion. Just to, like, name one off the top of my head. A second is the whole Xindi conflict. Like, he goes in there with a situation where they're going to murder his whole planet. They already murdered 6 million people. You know, his mission is to go down there and stop them at all costs. You know, and his journey through that discovery process and what he's going to do and how he's going to do, like, that's a morality story that the Picard character maybe could do now in the Picard TV series. I haven't seen it yet. But that level of morality could not have existed in the Next Generation TV show. Like, it was not allowed to get that deep into those kind of places. So, things like that. Like, the Wild Wild West is Enterprise in the first generation, the original series. The Next Generation, things are more of like this fantasy utopia land of where we've already gotten to. That's why I like Voyager so much, because a lot of Voyager also has to do with the fact that they're in a wild frontier. They don't have the resources to fall back on. They're up against the morality clause. What fancy build am I running this time? Well, one, good morning, Gordall. Good to see you again. I'm running my Faye Buckler build that I have written about a little bit over at samusgrobo.com. This is going to be the build that the life that I take the opportunity to like lay everything out for people on the forums. This will be my update to the Faye Buckler build 2020. I'm fairly certain that you want to be a half elf, which is why I kind of shoehorned it in this go around. Am I excited for new loots? I'm really never a person that's the most adamant about the updates. Like, I don't go on Lamania. I don't screw around with that kind of stuff. I really only play from level 1 to 20 right now, so oftentimes real new loot is for people that are at the end game. I'm certainly not going to say that I'm not ready to see new stuff, but for me, often those kind of things miss the kind of area that I'm playing in. That being said, we are getting close to being done with our racial lives until Shifter comes out. Shifter I'm very excited for. I'm looking forward to seeing more Shifter goodness. And, you know, if they end up having loot in my level range that's kind of cool to check out and play with, then I'll be excited to get my hands on it. But a lot of the time for me, new content is just new experience along the way, which I'm down for. And I'm certainly happy for people at the end game to have new things to chase and go and look at. Like, it's an important part of DDO and update and MMOs and stuff in general. You're excited for the rings. They brought back the glitch that when you heal people, you can kill them. LOL. Ooh, I hope they get rid of that eventually. They can have it in the short term, but hopefully long term they get that cleaned up. Yeah, I'm excited to have life re-given to certain quests. You know, like, one of the things that V-Love is often very adamant about, he's like, yeah, I try to get people to do this content that's older a lot because I missed it. But people feel like, oh, that's outdated. There's nothing good that's going to come out of it anymore. There's no reason to get a group together. Except for, like, on the hardcore server, right? And then it's about the favor. So it's nice to see these old quests get a revisiting and hopefully a little bit of a retooling, and these old mechanics get real dusted off. So I'm hoping at the same time, like, for example, for, like, why they're taking the time to re-knock out the legendary raids, I hope they take a minute and take a look at some of the gear for why it's leveling up and make some adjustments to it. You know, they're not raids that I particularly loved. I did like Tower of Despair a lot. I thought that was a fun raid. I didn't really like Lord of Blades, but it's because of the roles I was constantly getting stuck into.
And it takes like 45 minutes to get to the dang quest.
Yeah, that part doesn't really bother me as much. That's like a prequel to the quest. That's fine. But for me, it's like, you spend all this time making a ring that is, if it's or a weapon, it's not like the Shroud stuff, right? Where it has a long lifespan level wise. You've got this little bitty window where these weapons are okay. And I would just like to see this stuff expanded, even if that means there's a slightly more powerful. Ooh, I think we're gonna shame now on this Plague Reaper. Did I remember to grab my gibbers? I did. Whew. Yeah, hopefully they put in a teleporter. Exactly. Little things like that I think would be quite strong for some changes, you know? Some revisiting, some changes. Let's go ahead and clean this up. We're going to get killed again, but it's alright. Gonna grab a sandwich. Oh man, people need to be nicer when it comes to talking about food. I'm so hungry. Anyway, enjoy your sandwich. We'll see you again soon. Oh man, I'd go for a sandwich right now. I don't think these Highlands are gonna make it. I think we're gonna get killed here.
I don't know, man. After my 4-mile bike ride the other day, I'm still not hungry yet.
Oh man, I'm ready to eat. Not all the time, but I certainly am hungry now. Last night, let's see, when did I eat last? 4 o'clock yesterday, I think. So I'm 22 hours without eating. I ate right before the stream started. Let's call it 5. Because I started the stream at 5 and I ate a little bit before the stream started. So I'm coming up on 22-ish hours. I'm ready for something to eat. But the scale claimed that I was down to like 269, 270, somewhere in that ballpark, which is a pretty good improvement. So
There you go.
after the camping, yeah, my plan is if I can get back down to the 250 range, then I'm gonna hit the exercise like crazy again. So my long-term goal is going to be to get back under 200.
I tried to calculate, but I think I was averaging like about 12 miles an hour on the mountain bike, and
That's pretty good.
my pulse was at about probably like about 158 for 30 minutes straight.
Yeah, I used to, like I said, I love riding my bike. That's one of my favorite things. It's gonna suck that I have to give up that bike when we move to the bus. There's just pretty much zero opportunity that I'm gonna be able to take the trike with me. Hopefully I'll be able to find somebody who wants to buy it for not too much of a loss on my end, because I think I spent $1,800 on it. So if I can give half of my money back, that would be pretty good, I think, because it is a few years old now. I bought it probably 6 or 7 years ago.
You can always bungee strap it to the back of the bus.
No, I mean, if I could probably do something with it, but honestly I need to just if we're gonna have a bike, it probably needs to be a off-road / e-bike or combination. So there's just very little opportunity, I think, for me to haul that kind of thing around. Then you don't want to put.
It reminds me of when you go sailing with like a real sail, and there's no motor going. You know, you just listen to the wind. It's like the difference between riding a bike and a Harley.
Yeah, it's part of the reason the e-bikes are so good, because they don't really make any noise either, so you can kind of get a similar effect. But the reason why I'm kind of looking at e-bikes is because, in particular, is being able to haul things around would be much better if I'm not responsible for pulling everything manually. Like if I park at a lake and I want to go around the lake 7 or 8 miles, and then go swimming for 2 hours and then ride the bike back. That's pretty crazy work out there. And then let alone if you're gonna like have a picnic or a bunch of other shenanigans, So to me, taking the time to, I want to do this last. I think that's like the worst quest out here in the harbor. Let's do this one first. Kind of hoping to be a little bit further along right now. But, what was I trying to say? I think the e-bike is going to be pretty clutch. Either a bike or electric skateboard or something. I've been looking at both. But both things involve getting the weight down. So that's priority 1. It took me a long time to get it on, to get the weight put on, and I need to do a better job of getting it off.
I think one of my elders told me one day, the right tool will make your life a lot easier.
Yeah, well, and I just, we're getting, I don't know how many miles to the gallon on that bus right now. I'm going to guess it's going to be somewhere around 10 to 14. It could be as much as 20. That seems a little unlikely, but until I get an opportunity to get a really good idea of its range, I don't want to go crazy. But you don't want to be driving your school bus around some unknown small town, in my opinion, to like go to the grocery store. Where I could just, jump on my e-bike or grab my skateboard or whatever and then tootle that around, throw it in a backpack, go buy groceries, throw that in a backpack, tootle, you know what I mean? I just don't want to be... I don't want to be tied to that kind of stuff, but I don't want to carry, we bought a moped. I was thinking, at the time I bought the moped, I was thinking it'd be good for Remington to drive around Salina. It costs like nothing to fuel, it costs like basically nothing to insure. And then he got hit by that car on his regular bike. So then the wife's like, yeah, that's not happening. And I can't blame her. Being scared for your kid after something like that has happened. So like I have the moped sitting in my garage that I could use, but a lot of the same problems happen with the moped as would happen, with another vehicle. You're still tied to gas. You're still tied to, making sure it's insured. You're still tied to making sure it's tagged. Where the e-bikes or electric skateboards, all those other costs are gone. So at some point I'll probably sell the moped. I want to get it tagged and stuff for another year or so, and then I want to get it sold. Right now it's not tagged or insured or anything, but I think it's going to cost, what did they say? It's going to cost like $40 a year to insure. Basically nothing. I just need to go get it tagged, and I hate going to the office.
I would recommend to anybody, if you're gonna go traveling, to set up camp, do like Sam's talking about, get on like a little scooter or whatever, and go actually see what's going on. Like people, like a lot of people say like, oh yeah, I've been in Flagstaff. I'm like, okay, so like you drove through Flagstaff, or did you stop and get off the road and set up camp in the pines where the
Yeah, I mean that's the whole plan, is to get out and see and do things, right? So I got some things I got to take care of on the school bus before we can really start getting out and doing some things. But I'm hoping to, hoping to take the bus to my sister-in-law's for Thanksgiving. I'm hoping to take the school bus to my mother's for Christmas. Like we've got these trips coming up where it's always been kind of difficult / awkward to stay with family and do things. So like if I can grab these things, get a hard connection for the wife, like there's no reason that we can't go and spend 2 weeks at somebody's house as long as the wife has a place that she can plug into work. Theoretically, I could work from any place that I have an internet connection,
Do you have any truck drivers in your family, Sam?
No.
Have you ever went trucking or talked to a truck driver?
Yeah, I used to work for a trucking company, and I got a couple of friends who are some guiding hands. Nice, thank you. Thank you for him. But yeah, I have and I guess technically my mother-in-law's husband, I guess it would be a father-in-law now, right? He apparently is he is a truck driver, but I don't spend a lot of time with him at the moment because he is busy driving truck like all the time. But that's good. It's good that he's busy doing that. But yeah, I'm not as worried about the driving, although it is the idea with the way my head hurts and stuff like that. Just the idea that I'll be able to pull over pretty much whenever I need to and lay down, take a nap if that's all I need, or any of that kind of stuff. Oh wait, what am I doing? I can't get level 3 hirelings here. I have to get him from the marketplace or the harbor. I mean. Need a frenzy. Frenzy's gonna clean up quests.
And, sometimes you watch the mile markers and then you know where it's a good place to pull over. You can't go anymore.
Yeah, my concern for me personally is just how bad the migraines get before I have to stop. Like I'm just not allowed to go and do anything else anymore. And for a lot of people, that's not really a problem, but for me, that is the driving force in my life pretty much all the time, is how bad it hurts. Oh, I did not buy the new hireling yet. Blah, 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 blah. My brain is melty. Alright. Yeah, I'd like Frenzy now, please. Frenzy's gonna be a big help for knocking out this last quest, and then from there, I'm not really sure what else we want to do, actually. I'd like to get to level 4. We are starting to hit my breaking period here, but maybe we can still knock it out. We'll just kind of see how it goes. Level 4 is kind of like that magical point where everything starts to kick in for me. You get your mimic gear, you get the good dagger, you get like that's where your build kind of comes online for this particular, for a lot of builds actually, but this build in particular.
You get Reaper points.
Oh yeah, you also get Reaper points, but I suppose that makes a big difference if you're gonna do everything in Reaper mode, huh? Reaper points. Things that I forget. Speaking of... No, they're still there. Okay. Huh. I was checking to make sure that they didn't... even though they pulled my bar off when that client crashed, or the computer went off earlier, they didn't take away my epic feats. it didn't take those off my bar. So that's kind of weird. Kind of, sort of. Alright, so one of the big disadvantages of this build is no rogue skills. There's just not a way to plug them in. If you could take a 4th level in something, or if there's some way you could cross-class rogue skills, it would make this build, I think, pretty much the perfect build for how I like to play melees. But there's just not wiggle room for it, which is pretty sad. I'm gonna grab my healing spell here as well. I keep forgetting to put it on my bar.
And you know what I found is that
Pants are underrated, overrated, and too tight. I agree. What'd you find?
the more self-sufficient your character is, when you get in a group, it's better than, like, you know, in the old days, they're like, well, can I get a death ward? Can I get a haste? Can I get a, you know,
I think you still get some of that in places like the hardcore server and stuff like that. That mentality where you have to lean on others. But anytime you have to lean on others, that means that you become reliant on them. And what happens when you don't have access to those kind of things? It certainly gets complicated. So, like, for example, on the hardcore server this last go around, Samus could do all the traps, right? Like, not a big deal. But then we were doing the Epic Elite Kobold quest, or Cabal for one quest. Cabal. And we had reached the point where Dom wanted to take care of all the traps. Which I was like, cool. You know, save my thieves' tools, I don't care. But then there was the trap where
there's acid and there's bad things.
Yeah.
And you don't want to jump in there and die on.
Right, exactly. And he jumped in there, realized he was taking a ton of damage. He's like, oh, I can't do this. Like, I think we're going to have to restart this quest. I'm like, no, we don't. It's fine, whatever. And I went over there and did it. But in his world, right, in Dom's world, he had all the trapping gear, he had everything set up, and he was ready to kind of be that full-time trapper. So I didn't have gear. Like, I hadn't looked for anything. I was lucky I had tools. You know, and just jumped over there. Took care of it. You're majorly confused. Why are you confused? What's the current problem, Titan? As far as I know, character transfers are down, right? I thought, okay. Yeah, but as far as I know, they're just down. I don't know if they're back up for Lamania or not, is what I'm saying. Oh, we're super dead. Yeah, super dead. However, we are in a position to self-res, so that's not a big deal. Frenzy didn't make it, though, so we need to get Ellery Yeah, I don't know. I have not had any problems. I don't play around on Lamania, so I don't know what is or what is not working.
I literally was woken up by Shu, Wood, and then I went to watch Jerry with Shifters, and I've been here with Sam.
Yeah, everybody that I've seen so far on Lamania doing stuff has made new characters. Yeah, it might just... There might just be a login problem with Lamania right now, too. I don't know. It would not surprise me if there was something squirrely going on right now with Lamania in general. Have you checked the DDO Twitter feed? Yeah, there's nothing on the Twitter feed. Yeah, I would just check out the forums and see if anyone else is having a similar issue. It's really all you can do. Man, what a reckoning. It's the Reapers that are taking us out. It's the rest of the quest is fine. And specifically in that situation, it was when we ran into double Reapers. Double Reapers. That's no fun. Double Reapers. Yeah, we get to level 4 and the tide will turn. Oh, video game. Be no more of this, like, oops, we gotcha.
So, what was your final word on the Bombardier?
It was fun. It is not a class that, or not a build that I will probably play very often. It is not something that I would choose for myself. But it is possible that after level 20, the decision tree kind of comes back to play. And it is possible that post level 20, it could be a lot more interesting to play. So I'll have the video up. I'll probably start it uploading this afternoon here. Let me see, because I recorded the video. Let me just check it out. The video is how long? It's a 30-minute video. So I'll get that uploaded this afternoon for everybody, and it'll kind of be my walkthrough, my review, I talked a little bit about the build in general, but I feel like the build that I took was relatively basic, with the exception that I cared more about DCs than apparently a lot of people do. I actually got a lot of people talking about like I was in Magister, and a lot of people logged into the stream last night and they're like, why are you in Magister? And I'm like, it seems to be more advantageous DC wise. They're like, yeah, but you could get like 25% more damage. And I'm like, but if the monsters save and they don't take damage, then it's 0 damage. I'd rather the monsters not be able to save and do slightly less damage. They're like, well, if you get your DCs high enough, then it doesn't. You could do both. I'm like, that's very true. But I'm using Ravenloft gear still. You know, I'm not optimized for level 20. However, I will say that I went in and did Legendary Reaper 1 into the Mists at level 20, like right away. And had I not hit a second Plague Reaper in the infight, I think I would have think I would have probably completed at level 20. So the class is extremely strong, and I would not blame anybody for wanting to play that or main it or anything. All right, give me a second.
Did you turn them into frogs and miss?
My turn to frog was DC was not very high, and that was something that I was talking about by focusing so much on the conjuration DC, because I was so damage focused that my my transmutation DCs were like 9 lower than my conjuration DCs. So while I could use the turn of frogs occasionally, it was not something that I did a whole lot of. Alright, so let's see. Swashbucklers, On Your Toes 3. I ended up taking Blow by Blow 2, but I think we're going to wait. We're going to do Elegant, or On Point, On Guard. And now we went up to 3. And that's because of the critical threat range. Yeah. Let's see. And then we also did Double Strike Boost. So I want to get that going, I think, right away as well. Okay. Let's get our Blow by Blow in. Put that here in the middle, and I'm going to put the Double Strike actions up here on this next row. I want those double strike stuff going on right away. My friend put a mask on his dog to take a picture. I realized it was probably meant to be humorous, but I'm just like shaking my head in disappointment. Possible that his dog also put the mask on himself, I suppose. Not around his ears, but around his face holes. His dog is clever. Alright. Oh, I guess you can come with me in combat mode.
So you think the new shifter, like jump across the room animation, will get you out of Vengeance Circle?
I don't know. I don't know about the Vengeance Circle.
Well, Vengeance Reapers, they put a blue circle on the ground. We did R5 the other day.
I know, but we just killed that stuff, so like from my point of view, we just killed that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ellery, where are you? How come I don't have any heals? Now spamming heals on my robot to try to keep things going. You fixed it? Good job, buddy. What was the problem? Oh, I had a PC restart. My computer literally turned off earlier today and restarted. It only does that at certain times with DDO, and I have no idea why.
Did the computer say follow the white rabbit?
Yeah. No, it got squirrely. It just turned off. And I don't know why. Well, my system doesn't need turned off either. It just did it. Again, if I knew why, I'd be less upset, but it's twice that it has done it in like 2 or 3 weeks where it just like turned itself off. I will say at some point I'm going to have to put some money aside for upgrading the system.
I think I'm a year and a half in on this tower. It's pretty strong. But yeah, just start saving for the next.
Well, and for me, all the equipment is fine. It still runs good. It still runs well. It's just when we pick up Baldur's Gate 3, I'm a little bit concerned about being able to stream it versus having to just record and upload videos. And I much prefer having a live audience to just recording videos. You know, I don't mind recording videos. It's fun as well, but I like having the audience to talk to and bounce things off of and to drive the conversation. Like, I enjoy that aspect of streaming that you just don't get when you are recording. Oh, great. Alright, I'm just going to ignore that Reaper, I think. I think that's going to have to be the play. Just try to push through here. Try to dodge everything. If I can keep the aggro focused on me and not on the hireling, it's possible that I can get the red name killed before something happens. Yeah, that was significantly closer than I was looking forward to. But anyway, because I have an AMD processor and a motherboard obviously for that, the game, everything plays great. But when you sit there and do a bunch of video encoding, it really wants a different kind of system for that. So it's either that or I need to build a system for doing the video encoding itself. And because weight and electricity is important in the future, I feel like I'm just most likely to put together a new system or upgrade this one.
I think I was like 15, and I kept calling like the local radio station number, and one day I actually got through, and I was on the air, and I'm like, I don't know what to say. I just
That-
kind of like hung up.
That is a thing that happens. I've had people do that in the past. Oh, no, I miss being on the radio. Radio work is a lot of fun. I know. I would more than happily do a radio show again if I had the time to put forth the full prep. Like on a subject in particular, like news. Like I enjoy that kind of stuff in general. So I would not be opposed to doing that kind of stuff again. The great thing about working radio is that they have various departments, so they kind of already put together the news for you. So really, you could like read. Basically, I think I irritated a guy because they were looking for a new news guy, and I'm like, oh, so basically you just write your news article and then read the news article on air. He's like, yeah. I'm like, that doesn't sound that bad. Like, I can write pretty well and I can read what I writ on air. He's like, yeah, maybe. And then he ended up hiring a completely different guy. I'm like, oh. But I think that irritated him when I said that his job was simple, because just a matter of like reporting the news and then regurgitating it on air. But that's all he did. He even agreed. He's like, yeah, that's the job. Oh no, I miss radio. I miss it a lot, I think. All right, what's kind of going on here? DDO Central is hitting a lot of people right now, doing a lots of reposting and rehosting. So if you're looking for somebody to like aggregate data for you when it comes to Dungeons and Dragons Online, you could do a lot worse than DDO Central over on Twitter. No, he follows us quite a bit and reshares the stream going live and all those goodies. Do I want to go do Keep on the Borderlands quest? I suppose we can. A lot of them are gross. But I'd rather do that than head to the level 3s out in the this zone. I can't think what it's called right now. It's really in hills. So I suppose we'll knock out some of the Keep on the Borderland quests. A lot of them are quick and efficient. Some of them are just long and annoying. It's really weird to me how they balance those quests. But I should also point out we're coming up close to a 55th Reaper point. And again, that's primarily without hitting any legendaries. So yeah, hopefully, knock on wood, we'll be able to pick up quite a few points during our iconic lives coming up. All I know for sure is I'm gonna have. It's basically gonna be like teaching me a whole new game. Is learning to do iconic lives again.
What did it decide on the VIP stuff?
For DDO, nothing new as far as I know. But again, I didn't watch all of Jerry's stream very intently, and I haven't been paying attention to the forums of late about it. I really hope they decide to do something.
If I renew my VIP today, I'm gonna get the same package I got last year.
With the exception of you'll no longer be able to enter quests because you will have already owned all the quests now. But otherwise, yeah, it's the same. Like, as near as I can tell, they have made no real changes to VIP yet. However, as far as I'm concerned, they don't have to make an announcement about that until the 31st. So, as far as I'm concerned, they have another week before they need to really make tell us what's going on about that.
Alright, I'll wait until September then. Okay.
Yeah, because right now everything's still in the... Because of COVID, we're giving everyone an opportunity to get to know DDO window, which is good. And I think it's a smart play, smart move. But... Oh, of course he would fail his stupid saving throw. The turn that, the time that I soundburst from a million years away. Anyway, so as long as they're still in that, we're giving everyone everything for free for COVID. I personally feel like they don't have to say anything else about VIP. However, when that ends, I feel like they need to have that announcement relatively quickly as to what is going on for VIP as soon as the COVID thing is like the free everything being free for COVID. I may be in the minority about that, but
No, that makes business sense.
yeah. And like I said, as far as I'm concerned, my subscription currently renews next spring. It is very likely that I will not be a VIP year round. It's very possible that I'll become why the hardcore server is running only VIP. If they even continue to make the hardcore server something that I'm interested in doing. Again, as a streamer, I personally feel like you're a little bit more priced into it than other people. Because I think that the content viewer numbers are much different when you're in the hardcore league than, say, like right now. Like right now, I think there's like 11 or 14 people watching. I would expect that to almost be double at least, if not even triple, on hardcore. They took the requirement for being VIP. Yes, they did for this one. If they continue to keep hardcore open to everybody, then that's literally the last perk of being a VIP that matters to me. The movement speed through town doesn't matter. The experience points bonus doesn't... Like, it's nice, but it doesn't matter. I've already basically purchased everything in the game because I wanted to support SSG and Turbine before them. So I pretty much have purchased everything anyway. And since I basically spent all my time on Samus, I don't have to worry about opening on Elite. He's done all the things. So for me, the last real vestige of being VIP is the hardcore server. I'm not saying there are not other perks that people enjoy or whatever, but for me, I subscribe to Dungeons and Dragons Online to open all the quests at whatever difficulty I want to open them on. Those things are no longer currently an advantage of being a VIP. So I've talked about it before. I feel like if they want to keep me as a VIP, they could do it. The easiest way, in my opinion, is VIPs do not have a chest ransack. They make that change, I'm good. If they cut the VIP price down to half, I'm down. If they give basically, like, I pay for the yearly rate, right? So if I got basically the full value of my money in DDO points each month, so it's kind of like less it's less pain to open, but more like an automatic points buy thing. I don't know if that's something that would keep me, but I know that some people feel like that would be worth their time. For example, I know that Channel Fireball has a mechanic that works that way. They have a VIP tier on their website, and in addition to the content that you get on their website, you get $10. It costs $10, and you get all 10 of your dollars in store credit each and every month, and that doesn't expire, so you can save it up. So at the end of the year, you pay them. If you do like the year subscription model, it's $100, but at the end of the year you get $120 worth of store credit. So like, and you get access to all the content that's hidden behind their paywall. So I could appreciate them doing something along those lines. I don't really see that being a thing that keeps me as a VIP, but it is possible. I feel like I could buy DDO points when I want them, or buy them when they're on sale and just kind of stock up as I need them. But that's kind of up to them to decide how they want to do it. And I will make my decision whether I like it or not when my sub renews. And I think that's something that everybody should do. You know, when the time comes, take a minute, decide if the value is still there for you. Like I said, at $8 or $9 a month or whatever it is for the yearly subscription, the game was a no-brainer, and I would have advocated you being a VIP, hands down, no questions asked. Because I was a VIP. Now, after the changes, I don't know what it's going to be like. So I want to be able to advocate it. I want to be able to say, oh my god, look at all these perks you're getting from being a VIP. It's so good. But right now, it's, in my opinion, it's not there. So. Anybody else have any questions, comments, etc.?
Do you like sweet corn?
I don't eat any corn. I swore off corn probably 7-8 years ago. I try not to eat anything at all with high fructose corn syrup in it. I try not to eat any sort of corn at all right now.
Is your governor gonna try to stop trick or treating?
I don't know. She be cray cray. So I suspect that they won't, but they will force everybody, including the younger kids, to wear a face mask underneath their other mask. Which is silly to me, with a couple of weird exceptions here. I really feel like people should know whether or not they need a mask. You know, if they're at risk or their circle is at risk. For example, my circle would indirectly be at risk. So my son lives at home right now. My son works at a retirement home. So if I wasn't wearing a mask and I got sick, I gave it to Remy, and Remington took it to his retirement home, we would be responsible. So that's how I evaluate. At the very least, allow VIPs to buy store sales and only go VIP sometimes when the gnome goes on sale. Yeah, I mean, I can appreciate that too, Ragrude. Like, the fact that VIPs can't buy things is kind of the suck. So from my perspective, like I said, I think it's more of a, they should not be a government requirement. It should be a, here's the information, this is what we know. You should do your best to be responsible in a way that makes sense to you. Oh, they're 1,000% holding VIPs hostage. Are you kidding? That is exactly what's going on. And they know it. But again, they don't have to tell us anything, in my opinion, until the day that the perk ends. The free to play for everybody ends. When that ends, then they need to tell us something. Before then, I don't care.
All I know is if y'all start walking around with gas masks on, I'm running for the hills to find Willie Nelson and David Crack.
Yeah, I mean, some of the scary stuff that's coming out lately is really kind of showing some interesting things, right? Like if you look at the actual data and you look at some of the stuff that's going on, you look at the fact that some of the Norwegian countries, they never shut down, they never wore a mask, they never did any of the shenanigans, or they had high death rates at the beginning. It's kind of worked its way through. It's the same thing that's happening with New York City, right? All these high-risk individuals got it, it burned through the city, and now the rate is very low. Can we just talk to you real fast?
So I tried to talk to my cousin about the whole herd thing.
Yep, herd immunity.
And he did not want to hear it.
Well, I mean, the idea of herd immunity is a difficult one for a lot of people to grasp. And the idea is that, not that people won't get it and people won't get sick, but the idea that the general population won't get it and won't burn through. Some of the Nordic countries did close their borders early. A lot of them did not. Specifically, Sweden, Norway, Denmark. They kept everything open and same. And they had like I said, they did pay a high death toll at the beginning, but they now they're super low. It basically did its damage, and now it's done. So like there's a lot of different data. There's also stuff coming out now that says that once you've caught it and you fought it off, you're immune for 3 months at least, because that's as far back as we have good data showing. But you may be immune even longer than that. Once you've caught it once, or any other virus in the Rona family, your T cells and D cells are going to remember how to fight it off in the future, so it's easier to fight off in the future. You have that kind of information coming out there. So like, again, for me, it boils down to who's at risk, who in your circle's at risk, and how can you better protect the people in your circle. And that is a personal decision to you. Nobody knows how it affects my circle, right? No one knows how this affects your circle. Thakar takes care of his grandmother. He might be like, heck yeah, I'm going to make sure that my groceries are delivered. I'm going to make sure that everything goes through a cleaning up special. There's going to be, because if I get sick, she's definitely going to get sick, right? So...
Oh yeah, we're going to 100.
Yeah, so like, there's zero chance in my mind that you should be running around without a mask. However, if Brimington didn't live at home with us, say he was off at school, there's no reason for my wife and I to be wearing a mask all the time. Because we don't interact with people that are high risk. We're not at high risk. The more that I get, the better in shape I get, the less in danger zone I become. I don't have diabetes. We're not of African descent. Like, these are the big triggers that for whatever reason seem to be having an effect. And it's just like, people are running off of a thing of fear and not having good data. Speaking
But,
of fear and not good data, Super Novakin, thank you for the follow, my friend. Welcome to the USS Fat Halfling. Carry on, Gore.
So my sister is a dental hygienist, and she works in, I don't know, one of the 20th biggest cities in America. And sometimes, like, there's my sister, but is she okay?
I mean, is she overweight? Is she in the
No.
obese category?
No.
Is she under 60 years old?
Yeah.
The odds of her having a problem are extremely low on a permanent basis, right? Looking at the current data. Again, she's somebody who's probably sitting in close proximity to people. She also is a person that probably typically wears a mask because they're already dealing with illnesses on a regular basis and having a close inhale-exhale thing. She's probably going to be fine. You know, it's unlikely that there's going to be a problem. Rude says, I have no circle. I'm totally isolated from my family and friends. It's been really hard on me. Well, that's just it. They're talking about the suicide numbers coming out of this thing are insane. It's the same thing that they're going on with the protesting and the rioting. They feel like a lot of this stuff is more to do with the fact that people are bundled up. We've had 35 people now killed in protests/riots as of last night. I think we had 2 people killed last night. I've probably only physically spoken to people of a total of 8 hours, mostly on the phone since this whole thing started. Yeah, it's really rough. And if you don't have a support system of close family and friends, or, you know, people like me on this stream, for example, you know, if it was just me by myself, if I didn't have access to talk to you guys, or you guys to talk to me back, or whatever, it could get really dark. And I'm a person who likes being alone. You know, I could sit and read for a week, not talk to anybody for like a week, maybe even 2, and it wouldn't faze me. But we're coming on to what, 90 some days, 120 some days. Like, that's insane. That is absolutely ridiculous. That is, we've done everything that we were asked to do. We lowered the curve so the hospitals had time to get ready. We've improved our treatment knowledge substantially. The virus has a 99.98 survival rate. And many states in the Union and countries around the world have now reached the point where it's no longer able to be classified as a pandemic, and we're still being forced by the government to live in fear. You know, there was an insane video that's going around from this weekend where this couple had, like, this Black Lives Matter woman was demanding that people that are sitting outside eating their dinner raise their fist for Black Lives Matter. And this one couple were like, no, you're not going to force us to say or do something that we don't want to. And this entire crowd of people huddled in on them and shouted at them. A lot of them didn't have masks on, but they didn't care because they were preaching their message, which I understand and respect, even if I agree or disagree with their message. I understand the idea of wanting to voice your message and have it be heard. That's a different subject. However, I feel like, where was the people saying, hey, I don't know if you're sick, I don't know anything about you, and here you are shouting at me, potentially getting me ill, potentially doing me harm. You know, where's the outrage? Where's, like, these people? A lot of these people were not wearing masks. You watch that video. Like, I don't know. I don't know anything. I was just sitting here trying to mind my own business and have something to eat inside my socially distanced thing. Here's my mask. I saw the couple ended up putting their masks on as people shouted at their face. I'm like, that is ridiculous. The personal space violations. One woman was leaning so far back in her chair that the woman was completely over her head. Like, this was her head. She was leaning all the way back, and it was over her chest. Like, that's way inside your personal space. I don't know what I would have done if that was me. I would have been so furious. But again, they were... Wow, we talked to all of them? Sweet. I've never done all of them before. I've done a couple of them before, but not all of them before. Alright, I'm gonna go back to this guy. I said to me it's terrifying, the potential long-term ramifications of things, and people just, they don't seem to care. I have seen people protesting in a similar outfit, Titan. I mean, it's the same kind of thing about going to the pool or whatever, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's a different kind of subject. My point is that people need to be able to take on, need to be able to use their own best judgment for a lot of these things, because the government just doesn't know. They don't know the details of what's going on in your day-to-day life. They don't know that Gore may or may not be taking care of his parents, or may or may not know that nobody here is... You just don't go out and see anybody. Again, if it wasn't for me going to work at the arena, right, on Fridays, literally the only other place I go at all during the month, except maybe to and from the grocery store, is I go and I see the doctors. And my doctors both say the masks are stupid. No one wears them correctly. Nobody keeps their hands off of them. They're not clean. They're not sterilized. People are not taking care of them. They're reusing them. All it's doing is holding germs close to your body. And it's like, I'm just trying not to get a ticket because, as I've said before on the stream, my alignment is reluctantly lawful.
And so my question is, like, maybe I'm bad at history, but when us first Europeans came over to North America, didn't we, like, bring, like, disease to the native populations?
So, there's definitely some of that is true, but there's also some saying that there was also a massive native die-off before from where it was previously, and it looks like it's like 2 generations of buffalo worth of getting killed off. Like, that's what they're using to, like, figure things out. But there were definitely illnesses that bounced around because of the fact that the Europeans had horses and other domesticated animals that were not native to North America. Right. I think we're going to knock out this Total Chaos quest and then we'll probably call it breakfast. I don't know about you guys, but I am super hungry. And we hit level 4, which was kind of our goal. And by kind of, I mean exactly our goal, so... No, I'm because of my diet, I basically cook almost every meal. So today's meal is probably going to be 2 hamburgers, 2 slices of cheese. And by hamburgers, I mean just the patty. And probably a serving of pork rinds. I may or may not have some olives. Well, olives sound pretty good. Oh, also I have an avocado that I probably should eat today. And then dinner will be... I think I have to look and see. Basically what I'm trying to do is eat the leftovers from the camping trip. So I may or may not have... I don't know if I have 4 hamburgers or if I have 2 hamburgers left that I got to clean up. In the event that I don't have hamburgers to eat, I will probably instead eat 2 eggs with a little bit of bacon for my other meal today.
So, like, if you eat a salad, can you put dressing in that? Or no?
I don't really put dressing on it, but I had a salad, I think the day we came back. Monday, I think we went out to eat, and I had a salad, and I did go ahead and put blue cheese. I had blue cheese on the side, and I had a little bit with the salad here or there, but I ate it mostly dry. But I also considered that like all of my carbs for the day, basically. So a lot of people, if you're staying keto, you're picking a carb amount that you want to stay under. I'm trying to be the minimal amount I possibly can, which is generally considered 20 carbs. So like for me, that means that I'm really watching every single carbohydrate that goes into my bods, and trying to really count those. So like whether or not I have this avocado today, it's pretty much going to max out my carbohydrates, because a small avocado or a medium-sized avocado is 20 carbohydrates, but it's no, sorry, it's 10 carbohydrates. 10 carbohydrates, but it's
All I know, at 4:30 in the morning, there's this horn that goes off, and from 4:30 to 9:30, you're burning 9,000 calories, and they couldn't feed me enough. This thing's called like
oh, talking about your army horn.
yeah.
Huh. I am not sure how to solve this puzzle from here. I mean, this is certainly incorrect. Oh, I messed it up. Alright, so if I turn everything off and I go bam, bam, middle, right? Yeah, it's gotta be it. Alright, sweet. Yeah, I never saw that variation before, so that's kind of cool. Anyway, yeah, I realized that I need to increase my exercise substantially. I did so much like hiking and walking around and stuff with the dogs on the trip. I think that's kind of what generated this last big weight loss push. So I need to try to get back in the habit of something. I thought about getting the jump rope again, Um, it's certainly on my probably list. Just haven't decided that that's money I want to spend just yet. It probably is though.
I thought the only people that do jump rope are boxers.
Yeah, I don't know. All I know for sure is some of the stuff that I have been listening to and reading up about lately. Weighted jump ropes are actually the most efficient fat burning exercise, and depending on the weight of the jump rope, it's actually really great for muscle building because you're. Oh wait, I got one more quest to do after this. Dang it. Because it's a full body, it's both cardio and a full body lifting exercise, essentially.
Oh, they put weights on the rope.
Yeah, the ropes themselves are weighted. If you're interested, I'll try to send you a link, Thakar. But it's
no, I understand.
The company that builds it and puts out all this research is called Cross Rope, I think. Maybe it's CrossFit. I think it's Cross Rope. And they have several different kinds of ropes, and a lot of their workout involves like 10 minutes at this weight, and then 10 minutes at this weight, and then
yeah, I think that's CrossFit.
I'm pretty sure it's not CrossFit. I'm pretty sure it's Cross Rope. But generally, the idea is that you're adjusting these ropes constantly, and switching your weights. And you have like different ropes for different weights for different kinds of activities. So like if you think about it, not only are you jumping, so you're working on your legs, your calves, stuff like that, but then you also are, keeping your arms moving in a pattern and a rhythm, and you're moving weight. Like, just hold your hand out for 5 minutes or 10 minutes straight. Like, you'll get a lot of, you'll get wore out. So you add all those things together, and apparently it's a really great workout. One guy that I was listening to, he's like, yeah, I used to go for like an hour jog every day, and I thought that I was getting all my cardio out of this hour jog every single day. Then I did 10 minutes of the cross rope, and I don't even know what I was thinking before. My cardio was like before today. I didn't even know what cardio was. I'm like, wow, that's pretty impressive. So anyway, the problem is it's if you get like the 3-rope set, it's like $300 some. I just can't convince myself to get the 3-rope set. Even if it would be like the perfect exercise for in the bus, it's super lightweight. You can carry it anywhere. By comparison to like dumbbells or anything like that.
So pricey.
It is very pricey. Consider it's 3 jump ropes, right? Like if you think about it, a couple of jump ropes, a couple of different handles so you can switch your jump ropes. Like seems expensive. Well, that's the other part of the things. Sorrel. I'm just gonna call you Sorrel. By keeping the jump rope mixing up, keeping the weights changing and stuff like that, apparently it really helps. Yeah, Sorrel. Well, it's the same thing with like running calorie deficient. Your body will adapt to your new calorie intake. So, for example, if you're interested in losing weight, and you're doing something like various things that I'm doing right now, I'm both doing intermittent fasting in the sense that I have an eating window that I eat Oh, let's not do that. Let's just hit this guy. So I eat from 2 o'clock until 6 o'clock. So we're already into my eating window, so I need to go eat. And inside that eating window, I'm trying really hard to get... I'm reducing my calories, but I'm also trying to get as many of the calories in as I can to the under the 2,000 mark. So while I may actually only get to eat 1,800 calories, I'm trying to get as many in there as possible so my body doesn't become calorie deficient, doesn't get used to calorie deficiency. And then on Fridays and Saturdays, I try to, after I eat a normal schedule after 2 and until Sunday at 2. So or Sunday until 6. So basically from 2 o'clock on Friday, I eat however I want to until 6 o'clock on Sunday. Unless I decide to do a fasting, like a straight up fasting day where I try to do 24 or 48 hour fast, which I've done a couple of, and I was going to do more, but I actually think that I currently don't need another kick in the pants. That's kind of what I've been using them for. There's the Warlock Trainer. Okay, so real quick, we're gonna level to 4, and then we're gonna wrap up for the afternoon here. So, looking at the list, level 4 is Warlock, and then we're gonna continue to focus on all of our currently existing enhancements, and our spells that are important are Jump and Resist Energy, but Jump first, then Resist Energy. And then that opens us up to be able to start moving into Enlightened Spirits. We'll look and see if we want to get deep in here, but I have the feeling that we don't care that much. Spellcraft. Trying to look at this list here. Looks like we do Spellcraft, Perform, and Intimidate always. Oh, this is the first level that we can play catch up on. But after level 12, we'll be able to put multiple points in. Because we want to keep our Perform up. So we'll keep our Perform going. And then we'll do 1 point Intimidate. Seems odd. Let's see, we're going to do 2 levels. Yeah, okay. We'll continue to trust. We'll trust Past Samus. Past Samus tends to know what the hell he's talking about. And then we'll do Fae. Bam. And we'll do Jump. Alright. So now we get a whole bunch of sweetness added to the list here. So first of all, let's get Enlightened Spirit in. Let's get our Tainted Scholar in. We have 1 point. So we can do Warlock Aura, which is the thing that we're looking for here. There's our Warlock Aura.
That's your points.
Yeah, we'll spend our Reaper points in the second here too. We want our pack here. We want to make sure that's on. So this build is a build I've been working on again, off again for a few years. It's called the Fae Buckler build. It was invented originally by a Jeff Hanna many years ago. And then he and I kind of independently worked on it together, worked on it independently, and we came up with a bit of a build. I did a bunch of my epic lives with it, and then when I started working on my heroic TRs, I kind of put it away, and I'm pulling it back out for shits and giggles over here with an update for 2020. And I think that half elf is the correct build. I think especially if you can get a bunch of, like, I have 12 racial points from past lives and tomes and stuff like that. I think I'm going to get a lot of value out of this build. I know that on a ASMR that doesn't have a lot of good synergies with this build, I was able to do Reaper 3 solos as a melee, which in my brain is pretty damn good. So, is there a reason to do Half Elf? Yes. So Half Elf gives you, first of all, it gives you a second intimidation timer, which is pretty good because you're basically going to be like a mini tank. I think you could probably main tank certain things, but I'm not saying that you can main tank everything. I'm not as familiar with tanking post level 20 as I am pre level 20. Pre level 20, there's nothing that you have to worry about. Post level 20, I'm not as sure. And then also Half Elf gives you diplomatic impunity, so it reduces your damage by 25% or until you attack. So if you're intimidate tanking, you can just shield up, spam the intimidate, did 25% less damage. That's pretty insane. Then you also get Paladin Dilettante, which can give you up to a bunch of extra saving throws as you continue to go up. You pick up a bunch of healing amp, get a bunch of extra charisma based off of your hitting boosts and stuff like that. Post level 20, F that. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I literally did probably 12 lives on the similar build. Again, I started my heroic past life completionist chain. You just hate epics? Yeah, I'm not a big epic fan either right now, but it's just a matter of, like, pretty soon we're going to be done with racials, and then we'll move on to some combination of working our way through iconics and working our way through the rest of our epic past lives. So, like, the last time I did my epic past life stuff, the feats that were at the disposal were not very many, and now there's more. So I have to work on more. Yeah, I'm working on my racials right now too. I'm almost done. I have this life to do my last half elf, and then I have 3 humans. And then if I can get those done before shifter, then I'm good until shifter. Just cranked out a full level 20 in 4 days. That's pretty good. If I had an XP potion, I could probably do some, like if I wanted to spend XP potions, I could probably do that. If I was willing to repeat quests into the ground, I could probably do that. I like doing first time bonuses and moving through content, exploring new builds. So yeah, this is the main bits and bobs. This is our new main weapon. Don't know if we're gonna switch to this trinket yet or not. There's our feather fall. We'll grab a few other level 4 things here. Have I played the Fighter Vanguard? Not really that I can think of. I'm kind of based off of whatever the chat votes me into most of the time. Grab a flotsam because that'll be our other weapon, and then our frozen tunic will be our main weapon, and then this thing will go in our swap slot. Do I care about the necklace of glib tongue right now? This is the life that I've potentially wanted on. Right now though, our skills seem good enough to do what I need them to do, so I don't think I need to worry about it. I think we'll just grab this thing. Don't even think I need to slot it because we're not using mana. I don't think we'll get hit points out of it. You don't rewrite anything but Shadow Creep? Yeah, it sounds good. I'm curious what your path is. Said I feel like I have a very good path, but it takes me like a week. I guess it would be 5 days. But I when I play, I stream. So pretty much every single thing that I'm doing is available on the stream. So I also am a little bit slower because I'm talking to people. Perhaps if I ignored everybody and just ran through the quest like a crazy person, I'd be faster.
Oh.
You don't think I'd get faster if I ignored everybody? I think I could. I think I could get faster. Depends on how hard you crank. Yeah, see, and that's the other thing. I don't play with people generally. People are welcome to join me if they're level appropriate on the Solona server, the best server. Hello, my server. People are welcome to join me. But I don't wait for you, and I don't hold hands. Typically, Gore I think's got a little bit of salt in him right now because I know he waited around Monday to play with me, but I didn't get back to play Monday. So, and then he missed the cap out day yesterday, so he missed the TR day today. Yeah, I'm not wearing that. Ooh, this has got a Reaper bonus on it. Is this good enough for me to care about? I don't think so.
I just like hanging out with good people.
Yeah, I'm glad you're around too. Alright, let's get these things put away. We're gonna go ahead and grab these few things out of the bank here really quick, and then we're gonna call it a stream. I don't want people to have to like pull stuff out of my TR nonsense here, so they don't have to worry about it. What am I missing? I feel like I'm missing a ton of things. Yeah, I'm running my Jade Ring. And now actually my Jade Ring can go in the bank, because now starting at level 4 I always use my cloak slots where I have voices voices slotted.
Yeah, I gotta go and get ready for the Milwaukee Bucks game. So I'll talk to you later, Sam.
Alright, bud, you have a good day. You'll know where to find me. I'm going to take a break and then switch over to the hardcore server, hopefully. In the event that our hardcore server group does not come together, I will probably start a little early, but it will not be like insane early. Just because you guys know how I love the new life feel and those fast levels coming in. It's like my favorite thing. Grab our candies here. Oh yeah, I usually put the horse in the front here somewhere. What else is missing? Maybe I put the... So I've reached the point where I like to have this front thing filled. This way I know where the treasure random Lugian stuff starts. I guess we'll go like that. Okay. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that works. Alright, everybody, with that, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. If you're not already following the channel, I would appreciate if you would consider hitting the subscribe button. I think it's a follow button on I'm looking right at Twitch. I just like dashboard. No, Twitch. If you would mind hitting that follow button, I'd really appreciate it. Also, if you have the time, I'd really appreciate it if you could do me a favor and go to youtube.com/SamusGarobo and subscribe over there. You don't have to do anything else, but it's a really great way to help support the stream. I'm trying to get to that 1,000 follower mark this year so I can apply to become a YouTube partner. I'd like to be able to tap YouTube as a potential income source as well as Twitch. I'd really appreciate that. It's a great way to help us out for free, and a lot of times it gives the people an opportunity to watch in different ways. Like a lot of people overseas have a hard time watching the stream on Twitch, but they can watch on YouTube. A lot of people have a hard time watching Twitch on their phone, but they can watch on YouTube, etc., etc. So it's a good option to know when we're going live and when we put out video content. Like today, I'm going to upload my Alchemist Level 20 review pretty much right after I get up to go get something to eat. I'm going to start that uploading. So it's a great way to help us out as well. And if you'd like to help us out financially, the best thing to do is go to patreon.com/Samus. Kick us $1 or so a month there. Patreon only takes 5% cut instead of Twitch taking 50% of a cut. So it's a really great way to, your dollar goes even further. So, all right, everybody, with that, I'm going to get out of here. I'll be back in a couple of hours, hopefully with some hardcore server action. If not, we'll be back over here on Serlona for more just leveling. All right, everybody, thanks for hanging out. We'll see you again soon.